Well, good morning again. This is Hiro. Today is the second day in December. Well, it's a nice, cool day and it's overcast, so I thought I'd make this video. Well, on a sunny day, what happens is you get this harsh contrast between the sunny and the shady area, and quite often it's hard to see. So anyway, what I thought I'd do today is to show you that the pines don't always get pruned the same way. So this one here, I think the last time I did anything was in the spring, and it was more or less the light pruning, removing the center candle and things like that. Well, these two here are, well, let's just call them before shots. I'm not going to be pruning in front of the camera today because yesterday I got sort of ambitious and pruned like 16 or 17 big ones, some of them big, and now my hand is kind of stressed out. So I'm going to kind of take it easy, and I thought I'd shoot these videos. Oh, about a month ago, I did these red pines, Japanese red pines, and it doesn't even look like I did anything. I'm thinking of going back and maybe thinning out some more, but not all of them. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk about today. Don't do the same technique every year to the plant. This one here, kind of an unusual shape, but you can really see the structure. So I pruned kind of heavy and opened it up. This one here, I had forgotten the shape, so I opened it up. I would say I removed more than a half of the foliage, more like 60 or 70%. But now it has this really good turn in there. So all these four here was done yesterday. Hopefully I got some footage from before. Well, a lot of times, you know, I've been saying that a lot of this is not planned. Well, so I couldn't get a before shot because I wasn't sure what I was doing. I thought maybe I'd just trim one or two, and then ended up about more than 15. Looking at this one from another angle, it's definitely unusual shape. What style? I'm not sure. Where does it belong? I'm not sure. But I think if it goes in the right place, this will be great. Here's a Scotch pine for you that is on the West Coast. And for you that are in the East Coast, it's Scots pine. Basically the same thing. But I took this one down so we could see the line. It was getting so thick that it was very difficult to see the trunk. Well, like almost all of mine, it does have this great movement and taper. And that's what I emphasize. So a lot of times in terms of the detailing, I'm not as proficient as some of the other people, but I always strive to get the basic line. That's always been my goal. Yeah, here's a couple of blacks that I took quite a bit off. This one here, you see where the cut marks are. I took some branches that was no longer needed. But I like this one kind of on the full side. So although I took off probably more than 50%, it still looks rather full. And that's one of the things when you have a business, that you don't know what kind of taste people would have. So you should have different types. Well, this is a different style of pruning. So this one was fairly intense, but not that much. Versus this other one with a similar shape, I took it back harder. I took off bigger branches. This one here, I did it a couple months ago along with red pines, but it doesn't look like it's been pruned. The one behind it needs pruning, and I think to the right of it I did that one, but then you see it grows back rather vigorously. This one here, it was nondescript, so I really cut it back. You can see all those big cut marks, and now we have an actual style. What style, I'm not sure, but it has a distinct look to it. And then over here, once again, Scotch or Scots pine, depending on which part of the United States you're from. You can see that, look at that big cut. Okay, well, I leave these lower branches as a sacrifice branch. So it was being kept as a double trunk. And I looked at it and I said, you know what, it might look better if it was a single trunk. So I made the second tree into a big first branch. But you can see, because of that, you have this very thick base, right? And then it goes up, and then we have our movement and taper. Oh, when this was a young tree, I had some reservations. I thought, God, this is a boring looking tree. But now it's developed its own style, and I'm beginning to really like this. That first left branch, not sure if that should stay or not. And then to the right, this first branch on the right, I like to see that thing get to be about 2 or 3 times that length. But once again, look at the base and then look at the movement. Well, I guess what I didn't like was that first part was kind of straight, but then as it matured, it started to develop a nice look to it. And so now I'm beginning to like this one. And that's what happens. Different stages, it'll look differently. And then as we go to the next, yep, it's been pruned fairly heavy. And then this one, not so. So that's one of the things I wanted to, the point I wanted to make on this video was that you don't always prune the same way every year. Okay, so this one here looks like it could still use pruning compared to this one. And that's what I wanted to do, was to give people choices. Some people like these really stark looking ones. Of course, when spring comes and it starts the growth season, these will get full again. So I only do this heavy pruning early or late, depending on how you want to look at it. Because in the summertime, if I did this, the trunk will burn and get scorched. Okay, so this one here, you could see the big branch that I took out. That's why it looks slightly out of balance right now. So I gotta work this lower branch, and then the one on the right, the first or the second branch, I wanted to pull that down. So as I do these, I have to have a plan. Okay, so anyway, the job is only half done, but since the day was looking so good and my hand said don't work anymore today, so I thought I'd shoot this video. Okay, so this is Hiro saying goodbye. I'll see you again real soon in another chapter. So the point today was you do not prune the same every year.